welcome back in. Another edition. We're recording here on Monday, so this might go out on Tuesday. My normal Wednesday discussion gets released on Wednesday, but we might put this out on Tuesday. Recording Monday night. API this week, Arnold Palmer Invitational. If you're new, welcome. If you're a reoccurring guest, welcome back. We're glad to have you here. Week by week, we run down each PGA tournament. I give a course preview. I look to see, what stats are prone to success here. We dive into that. We dive into the betting card. We'll go top to bottom regarding DK price. We'll do a little DFS stuff. And all these stats that I look at come from rickrungood.com. It's one of the best golf platforms out there for golf analytics, research, betting, the whole 9 yards, whatever you want to do. He's got PGA Tour, Live Tour, Euro Tour. And yeah, it's been helping me out a ton in my golf betting. Big time win last week on Chris Kirk. So congrats to all the Chris Kirk backers. Last week it felt good to get, my second outright under my belt. My first being Max Homa at the Farmers. But yeah, I'm really excited for the API this week. It's going to be an absolute tough test like it always is. Last year, Scotty Scheffler went at 5 under. And a good score at this place is par, man. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a tough test. It's long. It's 7,400 yards. Thick Bermuda rough, is always going to be tough. And you got to be a ball striker. It's a ball striker's paradise. You got to be good off the tee. You got to put yourself in position, to hit greens. It's a very low green and regulation percentage, but you got to be well off the tee. I will say accuracy is not as important as you think. So if you're kind of looking towards someone who's like a short hitter, who maybe has a little bit more accuracy, try to tend into, looking at really good long iron players. We're going to see a lot of approach shots this week from 150 plus. I think a third of the approach shots this week are going to come from 200 plus, and then 70% of approach shots are going to be coming from like 150 plus. So that's really important to look at really good long iron players around the green as well. Honestly, putting is not too much of a prerequisite this week. I would gear towards more around the green play, sand saves. There's a bunch of bunkers here. There's sand galore. Scrambling is going to be huge, especially if the winds and stuff pick up. You're going to see this be a scramble fest, and that's exactly how it was last year when Scotty Scheffler won on Sunday when he beat out Billy Horschel. Victor Hovland was in that mix. So yeah, if the weather and wind pick up, expect scrambling to be big this week. Fourth elevated one of the year. Century Tournament of Champions, Farmers, Phoenix, and the Genesis. Now we're at the API. Like I said, you have to have an all-around game. You got to be great off the tee. You got to be an elite ball striker. Around the green play is going to be huge this week. And then, you're going to start seeing putters get hot. Obviously, it's important, to be hitting those 5 to 10 footers to save par. But you got to put yourself in that position first. Like I said, thick rough, fast Bermuda grass greens. I'm looking for distance, long irons, and short game play. 120 players in the field this week. We're going to be headlined by John Rahm, Scotty Scheffler, and Rory McIlroy. This course is also the highest percentage of penalty strokes in 3 of the last 4 years come at Bay Hill Club and Lodge, Arnie's place. So like I said, major leg conditions, really tough task. You got to have your A game all 4 rounds. Yeah, and that's what it's going to come down to. So, like I said, rickrungood.com, we're going to run through the whole board, top to bottom. He does a great job with this. And let's see where we can find. So I usually do, for my DFS breakdown, I usually have projected ownership on here. And it's not out yet, so that's not going to be here. But I'll pretty much have a good gauge on, where people are going to be shaken out, who's going to be popular this week, who we might be able to kind of get under the radar and stuff like that. But I think it's important to really hone in on these players and who has played well here in the past, and who's been playing well as of late. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. Top three on the board: Jon Rahm at 11,500, Scotty Scheffler at 10,900, and Rory McIlroy at 10,600. Obviously, like I said, Scotty Scheffler, defending champ here last year. Jon Rahm has only played this event one time. He came in. Actually, no, that can't. Jon Rahm. Well, in the last 5 years, I'm sorry. In the last 5 years, Jon Rahm has only played this event one time, and that was a 17th place finish last year. But I think the main thing we got to hone in on right now is how good Rory has been here since 2018. Nothing worse than a T13. He won it in 2018, a 5th place finish in 2020, a 6th place finish in 2019, 13th last year and 10th in 2021. I mean, this is a Rory McIlroy type course. Elite drive of the ball, long drive of the ball, creative around the greens, great with the long irons, and just be average with the putter to get you by. And that's Rory McIlroy for you. I know he struggled. He took a break from the Honda last week, but I know he was struggling a bit at the Genesis with the flat stick. So if we hop into Rory real quick, I'm going to go through all these guys to see how they've been playing as of late. But if we look at Rory, I mean, he hasn't lost on approach since the Valero Texas Open last April, so almost a year. It's been almost a year since he lost on approach. Ball striking numbers are stellar. Yeah. If we look exactly what I said, if we looked at his flat stick, his past two events, he's lost 4.8 at the Genesis and 3.29 at the Phoenix, having a T29 finish and a T32 finish. You would have to think that he's going to get back to his baseline, and he is going to bounce back. If his tee to green number stay the way they are, and is just putting at tour average, there's a very, very good chance that he wins this event. So I wouldn't get too tied up on the Rory McIlroy flaws with the flat stick as of late. Like I said, approach play here and ball striking is definitely going to be the difference. And don't be surprised if you might get Rory at a little bit of a cheaper price than these top two guys, which he is right here. Rahm is at 11.5, Scotty's at 10.9, and Rory's at 10.6. So you're getting like a 9 flyer on here, and he might be a little bit lower in projected ownership. So could be a nice spot for Rory there. It's just something to look at the projected ownership throughout the week. But I think he might come in the lowest out of here, which could be special. I mean, not much to say about Jon Rahm. The dude's actually just on fire. He's probably going to finish T10. I know a lot. I mean, one of the best bets you could be taking is just Jon Rahm T10 every single tournament this year. You could probably just quit your day job. So let that fly. And Scotty, man, let's look deep into Scotty real quick. Scheffler, Scotty. Yeah, I mean, he's been great tee to green. Obviously won the Phoenix, coming off that win, and then T12 at the Genesis. Played pretty well. Ball striking numbers were great. Tee to green numbers were great. I mean, yeah. Scotty Scheffler's obviously not a bad play either. All these guys in the top range, I don't think you could go wrong with. It's going to be the biggest to see where projected ownership lies. And just given that Rory's at this 10.6 number, I think that's the lean right there at the 10.6. So I hope he comes in a little less with that ownership stuff. But if we just look at odds real quick, like I said, Monday night recording session right here. So I know odds have just been fluctuating all day, and I don't think. Yeah, Jon Rahm is plus 650, Rory's plus 850, and Scotty Scheffler's plus 900. That's actually interesting. Scotty's longer than Rory, but more expensive. That's interesting. Probably won't get to any of these guys. I just don't think it's really worth it to get to them. Getting down to more of these guys in the $9,000 range is going to be important. Homa, really good history here. 17th in 2022, 10th in 2021, 24th in 2020. I mean, is he just going to keep balling out every single week that, there's going to be there's going to be a chance that he wins every single tournament? Yes. That's how well he's playing right now. And I don't know. He's been playing he's just been one of the best players, in the world as of late. Him and John Rahm coming down the stretch at the Genesis was unbelievable. He came up a little bit short. But Max is showing that he could compete with the best in the world, and it showed at that final day of the Genesis when they were just two of them were just absolutely battling for that championship victory. So, can't go wrong with home this week. JT is. See, like I don't know about JT. It's just I want to get to him. I don't want to get to him. I don't know where he's at with his game right now. It's hard to figure him out right now because what we know and love about JT is his approach play and his ball striking. He lost almost 3 on approach at the Genesis, lost 3 in a ball striking category. At the Century Tournament of Champions, he lost off the tee. He lost on approach. I don't know. And his history here, he's played it once in 2015 and he finished T49. JT for me this week is a fade. Just given his, I watched him because ESPN Plus had the featured groups of him, Rory, and Tiger at the Genesis, and it just seemed like he just didn't have his game that we know and love, his dominant game. And just given that he's played this event, just given that he has played this event, once since 2015? Well, that's his only time, maybe. I can't get to a player like that. He hasn't played it in the last 5 years. Fade on JT this week. Colin Morikawa is a play that I really like this week. I get the whole thing about distance, that. Like I said, if you're a short player and you could hit fairways and you're in a really, really elite long iron player like Colin Morikawa is, you're destined, to have a big week. To put himself in the best position to hit these greens is going to be huge. And Colin Morikawa is the best iron player in the field this week. 6th at the Genesis. I know he had a miscut at the Phoenix, but he couldn't putt for shit. 3rd at the Farmers. He played this event twice in the last 5 years. Cut in 2018, 9th in 2020. I think his ownership might come in a little low, honestly. I think Colin's going to come up a little short on ownership, and it's a really good pivot to take. It really is. Let's just look at Colin as of late because I know it's always been with the putter with him. Morikawa. Approach numbers just so stellar. Last 5. The around the green play has gotten and the thing with him is the putter. He can't putt. He can't putt this. He can't putt that. He's gaining 3 out of his last 4, where he gained almost 5 at the Century. He gained 1.5 at the Farmers. He gained 2.5 at the Genesis. Like, his game is trending upwards in that putting category, which he has been struggling with for a while now. Approach numbers, unreal. Tee to green, great. Why not Colin this week? Why not Colin? Just because he can't drive the ball far enough? Bullshit. I love Colin this week, and I really hope his ownership projections come in at a little low so we could pounce on that. I like that a lot. Next guy up, Will Zalatoris, popular pick this week. I was looking this morning, and I was looking on Twitter, and I saw guys were getting him at 30-1, 28-1, 25-1. If we look at DraftKings right now, this is Monday night. This is 7:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live from Manhattan, New York. He's at 20-1. He's at 20-1. I mean, his line is just dropping and dropping and dropping. So, if it stays at 20-1, I might get to that. If it gets anything shorter than that, I just don't think it's worth it, just given how much value has been lost on his play. But, I mean, I think I'm done with this injury narrative with Willie Z. He's got, just loved how he finished up at the Genesis. He came in 4th. Off the tee, he gained 4. He gained 4. Tee to green play was on Willie Z. If Willie Z just has one solid, he could have won. He could seriously won the Genesis. I know he got cut at the Farmers. But yeah, if we look at the Amex, he played well at T36. Century played pretty well. I think he's kind of back to his state. And if we look at what Bay Hill, what you need to do at Bay Hill, drive the ball long iron play, be great. And if we look at his putter, everyone thinks, oh, he has the worst putting form. Will Zalatoris this game with the putter in his last four events he gained 4 times with the putter. I really think he's found something. And with the whole injury thing, I think that's kind of over with now. I think he's finding himself. I think he's coming back to his game. I think Will Zalatoris could seriously win this event this week, and he has a good chance of doing it. We're looking more into these guys: Finau, Schauffele, Cantlay, Victor. Victor has really good, actually not great course history here, but last year he came in second. He obviously should have won. That kind of ends out the $9,000 range. If we get into the 8,000s here, Sung Jae, I mean, really good history here. He has 2 third-place finishes in the last 5 years. Didn't really play well at the Honda last week. Where's this game trending, Sung Jae? Because this is important. Because we love Sung Jae. Like, he's lost on approach in his last two events. He's lost on approach, which we rarely see from. I mean, he lost twice. He lost to in the Amex and the Sony too. He lost. I don't know where his game's going right now, but I just don't know. I say that now, but watch him finish like T5 this week. I'm sure he's going to come in wildly underowned, which might be a pivot that we could get to, but I don't know. I didn't really like him last week. What I saw just seemed like he was flat. Seemed like he was lethargic. He really didn't have much. Does he model out that well this week? Let's hop into my model of what I did. RickRunGood.com model, custom model. This is another unbelievable thing. Put in all these different stats. It shoots out, a weighted model of, where you can see guys. You could put things with like sand saves in. You could put things, shots gained off the tee, driving distance, sand saves, scrambling. It's unbelievable. I can't say enough about his about this platform. Sung Jae, where does he model out? Not even that. Honestly, not good. Not good. Sung Jae. Honestly, not pretty good. That might be an ownership play, Sung Jae, if I could get to him. So we'll see where that kind of shakes out as we move forward in the week, but yeah. Next guy up, who's been who's been great here, Matty Fitzpatrick. Since 2019, no worse than a T10, including his second place finish in 2019. Pretty dang good. But if we look at 50 as of late, it's just not there. It's the neck problem. It's this, it's that, whatever. Cut at the Genesis, T29 at the Phoenix. I mean, in his last 4 events, he's lost on approach. 4 of those times. Doesn't gain in ball striking. Pretty much at tour average off the tee. Earlier, looking at last summer, guy was gaining on average like 3 strokes off the tee per event. The putter's not really that great. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get to Fitzy this week. I just don't like how he's been playing as of late. And I think that's a really big thing coming to this event. So I'll be fading Fitzpatrick this week. Cam Young I really like this week. I think his game is just trending somewhere that has me to believe that this really might be the week for Cam Young. We've been saying this, all last summer. When's Cam Young going to win? When's his time finally going to come? It might be this week. It might be this week. It really might be this week. Looking back since the CJ Cup, he's been great off the tee. He's been great off approach. The ball striking numbers have been great. Yeah, it's the short game. He get around the green's not good. His putter's always been the flaw, and that was kind of the discussion over the summer on if he could have just an average tour week with the flat stick, he's going to win a lot. It hasn't really been good as of late, but if he could just find something this week with the flat stick, took a week off last week, just find something with the flat stick, he's going to be there. And at his price, at 8,700 odds, I think he's at 35, right? 35? Yeah, 35. I like that. He's probably going to be my outright card. I didn't put my outright card out yet, but I like Cam Young this week. He's got the distance, you know. He's got the approach play. He has a game. He has a game here, and if we look at my model, how he models out, I don't think it's that good, but it doesn't worry me too much. Cammy Kid. Not great, but yeah, driving distance second in this field. Par threes are also huge. I meant to mention there's 4 par threes here that are 200 yards plus. Cam Young ranks in the top 25 in that category, and he's great at Bay Hill. He ranks 7th in this field at Bay Hill with a 13th place finish last year. It's a guy who I could get to. Jordan Spieth, maybe. We're looking in this lower in this range. Jason Day. I just want to take I know, Jason Day has been playing unbelievable golf as of late, but if we just take a second to just look and see 1 week is the players, right? 1 week is the players. His number's at 65-1. This week, Jason Day is 28-1. Why don't we just wait 1 week? I know he's going to be a very popular play this week. I know he models out very well. But honestly, course history, he's won here. But last 5 years, 31 in 2021, 2 missed cuts, 22 in 2018. But he's just been playing like a beast. Jason Day has been playing some of his best golf of his career, and he has every right to be 28-1. Off the tee, stout. Approach number, stout. Putting has been better than ever. What year did he win this in again? API. He won this in 2016, when his game was elite. I actually had a withdraw there in the same tournament. But, yeah, he models out great. He models in 5th. He's 1st in scrambling. 6th in bogey avoidance, which is huge. Yeah, he models out pretty well. But I just think maybe there's next week is better value, but you don't want to miss out if he wins this week, so I understand why it might happen. He's going to be a DK play for me for sure. I think he's going to. I don't know if he's going to win, but I think he'll play pretty well. So that's that on J Day. Tom Kim, Hatton. Hatton's great here. 2nd place last year, 21st in 2021. He won this event in 2020. We know what we're going to get with the irons. If we look at him real quick, Hatton, he's another guy that I think there's value with these guys like Hatton, Young. They're all in like the 35 range. Hatton's 35, Young's 35. I think there's value there, and I think the play at Arnie's place is telling. Off the tee is just unbelievable from Hatton. Approach number's great. His tee to green play is special. In his last 4 events, he's last 6 events actually. Some of these were on the Euro Tour, but just really, really good across the board. His putting's pretty good. Pretty much at tour average in his last 3. But before that, he's been getting like 4, 5, 6. With the flat stick. He models out well, Hatton. He's modeled 4th. Hatton might be an outright play for me. He really might. I had him. I bet him. I lied bet him at Phoenix at like 65-1 after moving day, and he was unbelievable. That round 3, he was just hunting flag sticks, and 2nd place finisher last year. Why not Hatton? Let it fly. I'll be on him. Decky. Can we just have a moment to say how disrespectful the outright line on Decky was? I saw as long as 70-1. I saw it was 60-1. I bet it right away. I bet that right away. A major champion. A player who has been look, let's look at Decky real quick. Let's please do it. If we dive into Decky stats, look at his tee to green numbers. He's gained tee to green in his last 4 events. The putter has not been great. Yeah, whatever. He lost 4 3/4 at the Phoenix, but approach play in his last 4 events, he's gained 3 times. The outlier is 4.75 at Phoenix. I get he was cut at the Genesis, but he gained on approach. He gained off the tee. He lost 3 with the putter, but he still gained tee to green. He still gained tee to green. If you're giving me a 60-1, a 70-1 on a guy like Decky, major champion, let's say how he's even here. 20th place finish last year, 18th in 2021, 33rd in 2019. Like, if you're going to give me that number on Decky and be that disrespectful, you bet your ass I'm fucking riding that wave all day long, which I did. I locked in 60-1. I locked that in. So, good drink right there. We got a little seltzer, and over the Trader Joe's, I get the seltzer and I get some of the low-calorie pink lemonade. Do a little mixer, just special. A real good drink. Fill it up with ice, all the way up to the top. Great. He's at 82. Decky. Good number. Burns. Keith Mitchell. I mean, how good has Keith Mitchell been playing? 5th at the Genesis, 42nd at the Phoenix, 4th at Pebble. Played really well here in 2020, 2019. 5th in 2020, 6th in 2019. One of the best golf drivers of the golf ball on tour. I want to hop into him, actually. I want to dive into Keith Mitchell. I'm sure he's going to be very, very, very popular this week, which he should be, which he very well should be. Jesus Christ, Keith. Keith hasn't lost off the tee since the Open Championship. Around the green play has been nice. Putting pretty much at tour averages. Tee to green numbers are great. I probably won't get to him because I don't know. I haven't found myself getting on Keith Mitchell, kind of in this last run that he had. But, why not? Why not Keith Mitchell? So he's there. Sahith, he's probably a fade for me this week. He played this one last year. He missed a cut. Shane Lowry, playing much better. 5th place finish last week at the Honda, 14th at the Genesis. He might be turning the corner. Should we get back to Chris Kirk? Chris Kirk might be a DFS play for me this week. He's probably going to come in lower owned, just coming off a win. That's usually what happens. And if we want to talk history at this place, Chris Kirk is money. 5th place in 2022, 8th in 2021, didn't play in 2020, I don't think so, and a T15 in both 2019 and 2018. I mean, coming off a victory, he's got to be on top of the world right now. He's got to expect his game, to carry over into this week at Arnie's place, which he shows that he could definitely play at. Why not? Why not Kirk? How does he model out, Chris Kirk? Models out pretty well. 14th in bogey avoidance. Top 20 in sand saves. T25 on approach in his last 36. Top 30 at Bay Hill. Like I said. He might be a DFS play for me this week because I expect him to come in, very, very low owned. Could be a nice play, Chris Kirk. Ricky Fowler. So obviously in 2022 and 2021 he wasn't the best player, which tends me to believe the 52 place finish and the 72 probably a miscut. But if we look in 2020, 2019, 2018, when he was playing pretty good golf, 2 T20 finishes and a T40. I mean, and look at the form he's in right now. I know people want to wait on Ricky, but the number might be nice. The approach number. He gained 4.5 on approach at the Genesis. He gained 6.3 at the Phoenix, 4.6 at the Farmers. He gained 4 with the putter at the Farmers, 4 with the putter at Phoenix. Tee to green numbers in his last 5. He's gained 4 in his last 5, with the most being 9 tee to green. I mean, how many times has he played this event? He's played this event a bunch since 2018. He has 1 missed cut. He has a T3. He has a 12th, a T14th. When he was playing good golf. I could get back to Ricky this week. I really can. What's his number at? And why have I not bet it? He's 75-1, Ricky Fowler. And how does he model out? 15th. He's a gainer. He's in the green across the board other than strokes gained par 3 200 plus. Wow. Ricky Fowler. Big Dick Rick. this is why I like doing this, because I find shit like this. Ricky Fowler. Don't wait for the players. Don't wait for the Valero. Don't wait for anything. Ricky. I like him this week. I really do. Keegan Bradley. Sorry, we're skipping a few people. Adam Scott, Justin Rose. Doesn't really go crazy to me. Keegan Bradley at 7,600. Pretty similar to Ricky. He's played this event a ton. Keegan Bradley's probably played since, what, 2010? 2010, Keegan? AKB. Bob the Sports, shout out. One miscut. T10, T11 and 22, T10 and 21. A bunch of like T30 and T40 finishes. Kind of in the middle of the 2010s. Second place finish in 2014, T3 in 2013. You know, his game is trending upwards. I know he missed a cut at the Genesis, but he was just pitiful with the flat stick. We like what we saw at the Farmers in Phoenix. He looked good. He won the Zozo back in October. I'm sure he's going to be pretty popular this week. How does he model out? AKB, Keegan Bradley models out pretty well. Not great with the sand, not great with the flat stick. Nothing really. Yeah, bogey avoidance is good. I still like Ricky better than him, to be honest, just given Ricky's form right now. Hadwin, Siwoo, Tommy Fleetwood plays this place pretty well. 20th in 2022, 10th in 21, 3rd in 2019. And he's been playing well, Fleetwood. See, like, one thing I've seen that, and this thing came up on Twitter, she posted the leaderboard of, like, the past 3 years. Players from the United Kingdom play very well here. I don't know if it's the win, I don't know if it's the hard conditions, I don't know what it is, but they tend to play well here. Pretty average, pretty much at tour average on approach in his last 4 in these quarter defensive PJ Tour. Remember, Fleetwood plays a lot on the European Tour in the fall, kind of getting into the earlier part of the season. I like the course history. The form is just Let's see if I can get anyone else here. Woodland, 5th last year. I know he played really well at the Genesis. Aaron Wise. I like what I saw from him last week. Is Bazane not finding something? I know he plays well in tough conditions. How does he model out? Bez. He's great around the green. He's great with the putter. 3rd in the field. 1st around the green. Has he been finding something? I know he's just been absolutely pitiful. Yeah, he's fine. Like, I like what I saw at the Honda from him. So the thing with Seabez was, since the Sony Open, he's just been awful. Tee to green, everything. But he's kind of finding something in these last 2 events. Found a little something with the flat stick at the Genesis. Finding a little bit of something tee to green at the Honda. Does he play this place well? T18 in 2020, 7th in 21, T20 in 2022. How was he playing in that time? If we go back, how was he playing then? So last year, Arnold Palmer. Not great. I could get that. I could do Seabest this week. I really can. What's his number at? 7,100. I don't know about outright, but honestly, it might be a dart. 150 to 1 with Seabez. I'm sure he play. Yeah, does he play well in difficult conditions? Strokes gained hard. He's top 30. Great at Bay Hill, 8th. Good Bermuda putter. Yeah, these last few approaches hasn't been great, but he showed something. He's been showing stuff nice at the Honda. Get into the weeds on the Seabass right now. Bo Hostler, I want to do it so bad. Remember, got Thomas Dietrich at 7,200. Remember, he withdrew on Thursday due to an illness, so I don't think he's injured or anything like that. Um, so yeah, these are some of the guys in the 7,000 range. How about Aaron Wise? He had a great round 4 at the Honda. Pretty good history here. 17th last year, missed cut in 21, T40s in 19 and 18. And then getting into the 6,000s. Let me see who my model, if anyone in my model spits out in this 6,000 range. Who's the first guy that spit out? Eric Cole, obviously. Zach Johnson, probably not. Alex Smalley. Might be able to get to him too. So yeah, that's the board this week. That's the DFS stuff. That's kind of the rundown for the players. So, like I said, Colin I think is a good play. I think Zal's a good play. I already bet Decky, Cam Young, Jason Day. We might have to wait a week for Jason Day because I think we could just get a better number there. Fitzpatrick, his approach play just hasn't been there as of late, so that might be a fade for me. And yeah, Hatton I love, like I said. So yeah, like I said, the ownership projections is something that we're going to be monitoring throughout the week. RickRunGood.com, he has Michael Kapalunas do that, which he does a great job in that aspect of DFS. And it's a big week this week. Arnold Palmer, 4th elevated one of the year. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a tough test. I'm sure weather is going to play an important factor, and that's also something that we need to hone in on before we do our lineups. If you want to stack waves, if you want to play AM, PM, if you want to do PM, AM, the Thursday and Friday waves. So that's definitely something else to look at. And yeah, I'm really excited for this week. I love this tournament. I love how hard the course is, and these players are going to be tested. So there's the preview. There's the betting. There's the betting preview. DFS preview. Arnold Palmer Invitational 2023. JZ Sports Handicap Sports. That was another edition. Best of luck this week. Let's hit some outrights. Let's be on top of leaderboards in DFS. Let's go be special this week. All right, folks. Best of luck. We're out.